Hi everyone, this is in response to several requests for a video specifically about pineal secretions and pineal chemicals. It's amazing that nowadays we don't need to look far to find interesting and inspiring information about the pineal gland, whereas 20 or even 10 years ago, research was much more sparse. This just shows how we're moving into a more enlightened, open era. Of course, I have talked a lot about the role of the pineal gland and pineal metabolism in relation to the great regeneration, sacred secretion, or kundalini rising. So I thought it would be good to take a closer look at DMT and the other pineal chemicals and the way in which they affect our bodies and indeed our lives. So the pineal gland, also known as the epiphysis cerebri or conarium, is part of the endocrine system. This tiny gland is hidden in a deep cavity or cave in the center of the brain between the two hemispheres and is totally bathed in CSF, which is esoterically known as Christ oil. CSF is part of the lymphatic system and literally helps to cleanse the brain and body on a deep cellular level, as well as being a medium for the birth of new cells. The endocrine system is important because it's accountable for all the secretions of hormones, of neurotransmitters, and of other biochemicals in the body. It responds directly to our thoughts and emotions, which cause specific chemical reactions to occur within us. Therefore, it's directly responsible for the ever-changing state of our inner alchemy, of our biochemistry. This gland is like the sun in the body because its secretions of serotonin and melatonin tell us when to wake up and when to fall asleep. To put it scientifically, it modulates sleep-wake patterns. The pineal also makes pinoline, a neurotransmitter associated with mood regulation. Pinoline helps to alleviate symptoms of depression, anxiety, and other mood disorders, and it helps to improve our overall mental health. Pinoline has many other benefits as well, and we'll come to see more about that later. In 1976, Gouchard demonstrated that the human pineal gland contains the enzyme INMT, which is capable of synthesizing both DMT and bufotenin. Theorized benefits of bufotenin include serotonin regulation, which affects our moods, neurotransmitter regulation, which affects cognitive focus and function, and spiritual experiences. Bufotenin is chemically similar to DMT, which is known for its hallucinogenic properties and ability to induce profound spiritual experiences. While less potent than DMT, bufotenin has psychoactive effects that do contribute to altered states of consciousness and spiritual experiences as well. Another of the pineal gland chemicals is, of course, DMT, which is known as the spirit molecule. And by now, it's more or less common knowledge that the pineal plays a role in self-produced or endogenous DMT secretions. And these secretions mostly occur during meditation, during sleep, and moments of spiritual bliss or mystical moments. And it's this molecule that actually allows us to be conscious of our dreams and to have recollection of our dreams. Experts like Straussman say that DMT production is also stimulated by the extraordinary conditions of childbirth, sexual ecstasy, of extreme stress or trauma, and near-death experiences, and of course it is the death hormone as well. According to Bosman, the pineal gland and its DMT help to maintain youthfulness because both 5-MeO-DMT and DMT affect the tRNA messengers responsible for protein synthesis and the rebuilding of our body's structure and organs. Bosman also says that the pineal gland acts as a superconducting resonator, so like an antenna, which can enhance DNA function as a multi-dimensional transducer of holographic projections. So in other words, it feeds images into the body. Melatonin shares the same tryptophan base as pinoline, and melatonin triggers mitosis, so cell replication. And it does this by sending a small electrical signal along the DNA's double helix, initiating an 8 Hertz proton signal. And this signal causes the hydrogen bonds in the DNA's stairs to unzip, and that is what allows for DNA replication. So it's really a molecule of life. Pinoline, also known as 6-methoxytetrahydrobeta-carboline, is said to be even more effective than melatonin in promoting DNA replication. It is also said to generate superconductive elements within the body. And by resonating at the very pulse of life, so the 8 cycles per second, 8 Hertz, pinoline encourages cell division, reflecting the rhythm DNA follows during replication. Meditation actually trains the brain to reside in the alpha brainwave frequency, and the alpha state synchronizes the 2 hemispheres into 8 Hertz resonance. Listening to binaural beats or doing pranayamas or other meditations that bring the brain into the alpha state have been shown to have positive effects on both the psychology and physiology of the body, and it's all to do with that 8 Hertz state. All you have to do is meditate while listening to like alpha wave binaural beats through headphones. Behaving like a resonator, the brain then automatically responds to those frequencies. And you might not notice the benefits immediately, but syncing the hemispheres of the brain in this way helps with a whole host of issues stemming from abnormal hemispheric asymmetry. So when the hemispheres of the brain aren't in sync. For example, studies show relief from stress and anxiety, relief from REM sleep problems, overcoming addictive and self-defeating behaviors, helping with post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, insomnia, chronic pain, and even attention deficit disorders like ADHD, and helping to relieve symptoms like nightmares and aggressive behavior or impulsive behavior. Hemi-syncing assists with manifestation by completing the circuit of the body and making us better attractors for the good that we desire. And hemi-syncing also plays a role in visionary experiences, because proper communication between the hemispheres of the brain correlates with flashes of light, epiphanies, wisdom, moments of creativity, or like divine inspiration. And hemi-syncing was explored in relation to the sacred secretion in the God design as well. The fornix is an organ connected to the pineal gland by an attachment known as the stria pinealis, meaning straight line to the pineal. Esoterically, this has been linked to the straight and narrow way that's said to lead to heaven. The fornix folds over and is connected to the four amen, commune anterius. Biblically, Jesus described himself as the Amen, the faithful and true witness. And Amen is used at the end of our prayers so as to say thank you and affirm our faith that God will respond. So there's an interesting parallel here. Amen is Jesus, the connection between spirit and matter, and the four amen arch connects the brain's hemispheres, allowing for manifestation. Sorry, I ad-libbed at the end there, but the brain's functional plasticity allows it to create and to exercise new neural pathways, effectively retraining its circuitry, so being made new. During meditation, the brain's hemispheres synchronize, exhibiting nearly identical or like mirrored patterns of large, slow brain waves, and that's the effect that we want, that kicks all the good things into action. By stimulating neglected neural pathways, new connections are formed, leading to improved equilibrium and long-term changes, essentially tuning or evolving the nervous system. This concept of altering brain chemistry and electrical activity is well established in medicine. When we close our eyes, melatonin levels increase in the brain and saturate the neocortex. This also boosts the presence of pinoline in the body. Increased pinoline levels help cells replicate and neutralize harmful microorganisms, parasites, and bacteria. These neurohormones, melatonin and pinoline, act as antioxidants, and they initiate the 8-Hertz state. Through meditations, especially practices involving alpha wave binaural beats, the brain can easily be trained to enter the alpha state, the 8-Hertz state. The 8-Hertz state coincides with what practitioners call the compassionate love state, or the euthanizing state. The term euthanizing state comes from the Heart Math Institute, who demonstrated that 8 Hz alpha waves in the brain elevate DHEA to youthful levels, an extraordinary benefit of meditation. The practice of compassionate love, also known as bhakti, which we've talked a lot about, also causes the pineal gland to produce more melatonin and consequently more pinoline. And then these two signal the pituitary gland to release somatotropin, a life hormone. This hormone prompts the adrenal glands to convert cholesterol into pregnenolone and DHEA. I'm not sure if I said that chemical pregnenolone correctly, but it will be spelt in the subtitles, so that's fine. By meditating on positive memories and images of our healthy, vibrant, younger selves, we can actually stimulate our biochemistry to mimic its former states. And this causes the body to manifest many positive changes within. Hostetler, the scientist who coined the term euthanizing, suggests meditating on a photo from your happiest time in order to shift the body's alchemy back into a more desirable state. And there's a lot more to say about the pineal gland as the third eye of inner sight or insight, but I'll save that for a part 2 and keep this video specifically focused on pineal chemicals and their effects. And also, of course, we've talked about hemi-syncing and the importance of the 8 hertz state. I didn't want to repeat information from previous books and videos here either, but of course there are other pineal chemicals related to the sacred secretion and superconsciousness awakening as well. And if you are interested in those, then please watch this other video. So in conclusion, the pineal gland plays a crucial role in overall mental health through the secretion of key neurochemicals like melatonin, pinoline, and DMT. Modern research has shed more light on the profound effects of these secretions on our body, mind, and spiritual experiences. And of course, I always say practice, practice, practice. And you really should carve out time for your spiritual practices, whatever they may be, yoga, meditation, or pranayama, because engaging in these practices, especially with aids like alpha brainwave binaural beats, 8 hertz binaural beats, we can enhance the function of the pineal gland and synchronize the brain hemispheres. As discussed, this synchronization produces multiple benefits, including stress relief, improved mood and focus, and enhanced mental and physical health, not to mention improved cellular regeneration and awakening, or the expansion of consciousness. As we continue to explore and understand the functions of the pineal gland and its secretions, we move toward a more enlightened era where the integration of these practices can lead to significant improvements in our health and quality of life and send positive ripples into the collective consciousness expansive. Whether through your usual sacred secretion practices, bhakti, meditation, or the strategic use of binaural beats, tapping into the power of the pineal gland offers a very promising path to symptoms such as rejuvenation and spiritual awakening. So thank you again for watching. As always, the links to my books, courses, and other resources are in the description box below this video. May divine love manifest itself in you all, always and in all ways. Namaste.